This is the HomeTech Podcast for Friday, October 27th. From Sarasota, Florida, I'm Seth Johnson.
From Reynoldsburg, Ohio, I'm TJ Huddleston.
And from Pickering, Ontario, I'm Gavin Campbell.
And welcome to the HomeTech Podcast all about home automation, home technology, all the good fun stuff. Halloween's right around the corner. There's an Apple event. I'm watching TV shows now. I'm back to watching TV. I've been busy at work and I'm burnt out at the end of the day now, just trying to get some stuff off my desk and just go sit down and watch some TV. There's some good stuff on.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm always watching TV. You know, part of my job, whenever I'm working on something, I always have TV playing on one of my screens, in the background. So that's how I get through all these shows. I'll be working on code, TV's playing. If I really got to concentrate, though, I pause it. But that's how I stay up to date. There's some good shows. You're right, though.
Yeah, we watched, my wife watched the House of Etcher thing. She said it was pretty good. I watched the end of it, so I know how it ends. And the ending was fun. I guess I didn't care to see the rest of it, but I could recommend it. It was fun enough to watch if you're into that kind of thing. It's very kind of gory and gross and stuff like that too. So
that's the House of Usher, right?
Etcher or something, or Usher. I don't really remember. It's on Netflix. Yeah. On Apple TV, I picked up Invasion. I think we talked about that last week, and I think I caught up. I think it's over now. I'm not sure. There may be one more. But it's been fun. Actually, it's been a lot better than the last season, so happy to see that. And then Swagger. I don't know. Did you ever start that one, Gavin?
I have it in my queue. I've never started it, but I know you talked highly of it.
Yeah, it's actually good. This time, this go around, they kept trying to get the waterworks to come out of you, and you're like, come on, just get on with this, play some basketball. And it's like, why are they doing these deep topics? And then, but it was good. I think it's pretty much feels like it's over, which I don't like. All the kids are graduating and going to college now, so it's kind of like I don't know where I'll watch kids play basketball in college. I mean, I can do that anyway if I wanted to, and I don't want to. So, but it turned out to be a pretty good show. It's got a bunch of relevant issues in it. And it's one of those that was through the pandemic they had to record. So they're definitely had some weird shows where they had all masks on and everything. So, and then For All Mankind is cranking back up, I think in November here. So I'm excited about that. Can't wait for that one. That's one of those that I will watch just every week. We'll just carve out some time and we'll sit down and watch it. So excited about that one. And somebody recommended The Righteous Gemstones. That it's one of those it's a HBO comedy. Looks ridiculous. It's about those religious people on TV that have their own TV shows that beg for money. One of those things, and it looks funny. So I'm gonna have to see it.
Sounds like a good list. Lots to watch. One show I recently just finished watching was The Continental. It's in the John Wick story. But
it's the hotel.
Yes, it's all about the hotel, and you just have to watch it. It's actually really good. Lots of action. They spent some money on it. I enjoyed it. If they have another season, I'll be down for it.
What is that on? Is it on? Oh, it's on Peacock.
Yep.
Oh, okay. To check that out.
Ooh, might have to check that one out. We just got Peacock.
From the world of John Wick.
Yeah, I just finished Futurama myself, so that's where I'm at in the TV space.
The newer ones.
Yeah, first season was a little bit not that good, I don't think, but we'll see what they do in season 2. I mean, it's basically the same exact show, but I don't know, just missing something. I feel like. Yeah,
I don't know. That show was really good when it was out. And I think I've watched all of it. I'm not sure. I feel like now I can't start watching it again without going back and making sure I watched all the other ones.
Might as well rewatch it then. It's on Hulu, so.
I got this. I saw this on Mastodon. This Who Owns the Media Landscape, and it's a really interesting infographic picture of all the big players and how much they're worth, and it's basically has circles for them, and there's Apple and Amazon and Facebook all the top. Those are the big guys, and then so they have big circles, and then it's got these big companies, like Comcast. $151 billion. It's just a little tiny circle here next to Apple. Disney, $197 billion. I think there's a bunch of Disneys can fit into the $2.4 trillion that Apple has. That's crazy.
It's crazy that Facebook is so high up on there too,
Yeah.
Just Reels. Facebook Reels. That's it.
Yeah. And Amazon Prime Video making that $1.3 trillion. I just thought it was neat that you can see visually how big these companies are. And there's not anything on here. I guess Univision is less than $1 billion, it says. And it's still, that's a lot of money to like look at some of these other circles and be like, oh, that's a 2.4 trillion. That's a $1.3 trillion company. That's crazy. Just crazy. Insane amount of money.
Yeah, like Roku being worth more than Dish. Not by much, but still some.
That's because they're selling all those wise security systems, probably.
Oh yeah.
So it's that extra $1 billion in revenue. Dish comes out with a wise security system and cameras, rebrand, and then you'll know that's how they're making their money.
Well, Netflix and all those companies, they're going to jump up soon. They'll be much bigger, with all the price increases going on now. That's how they're doing it. Oh my
gosh, every week.
So Paramount Plus is going up, Netflix is going up, Disney's going up.
You think Netflix is like $22 a month or something now?
I saw $22.99 per month in the US. For I guess that's for the bigger package, and I guess the basic plan is going from $10 a month to $11.99. When did this happen? It was just like a couple weeks ago. I think we talked about it before, but yeah, quite a rise in pricing. I like how they blamed it on like, oh, this must be for paying all those people that we weren't paying before.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it could be that. Crazy. Well, what is nice, I do like about all these streaming things is that there's plenty of choice on good TVs to watch right now. Although I gotta admit, like at first I wasn't, but now like it seems like everything has 10 episodes and then they're like, yeah, we're done with that season.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't want to get invested with things. It's just like there's too many early cancellations and not finished storylines.
Yeah. And you can tell like my wife I forget what she was watching. She was watching something today and she's like, oh, I wonder if there's more. And I'm like, well, what episode you on? She's like, oh, on episode 6. I'm like, there's probably 10 episodes. Like just like that. And she's like, looked it up. Yep, there's 10 episodes. Like they're going to keep releasing them.
It should be a rule that if they vote to cancel a show, they at least give you one episode where they wrap up the story.
Right. It should be a requirement.
Like if it's whether like, yeah, okay, we beat the aliens, they leave. Let us know what happens with the aliens. Don't just leave us hanging here, with all these aliens roaming around.
Yeah, that's why I'm always a little slower to adopt TV shows than I think either one of you is, because I want a finalization. We just finished Reservation Dogs, which has 3 seasons in it. At least I feel like with that show, I got some kind of closure out of it. They could definitely extend it if they want to, but it's finished and I'm fine with that.
There are just some shows they'll have 5 seasons though, and that's still not finished. They just stop at 5.
Yeah,
and you still didn't get any closure. So yeah, that upsets me. Usually, like if I see an old show, that's no longer running, I'll check to see if it had a closure on it or not before I even invest time in it.
Yeah, it's like Game of Thrones, where you just have the entire last season just be the worst season ever. And it's like, this didn't clear anything up.
And there was that guy that was like rowing the boat, and they still think he's out there just rowing the boat. Remember,
yeah,
it's like
just
in season
rowing.
2. Yeah, he just took off rowing, and they're like, "We'll meet you," and then like he never showed back up for any of the seasons.
So annoying.
Yeah, my favorite TV show of all time was Patriot over on Amazon. Such a good show, and I don't like. It's got a weird name. They always had like weird cover art on it, and then but it's an excellent show. Like it's insane. How good it is. It didn't deserve to be that good. Everything about it. The acting was superb. The direction, the camera shots, every shot is like one of those like movies you watch where every single shot is like a piece of art you can put up on the wall. It's literally that for 2 seasons. And they ended it, and it ended okay. I think all the actors kind of knew that it was going to end, so they like it ended at a spot that was okay. But everybody deep down, you want kind of like another season out of it to like put a cap on it, like find out what all this other stuff they were talking about was. So it's too bad. They'll never go back. All the actors went on to other projects, and the director did too. So it's too bad. Definitely worth a show. Worth checking out. Maybe not for TJ, but for Gavin, maybe yes. Check it out.
All right.
I use you guys to vet all my TV shows, so.
And you don't listen to us. You're watching like the list maker and
no. I listen to you. I just know what not to watch. So.
Taskmaster.
That's what
hey, that's a really good show. You guys just don't understand comedy.
Is it still running, or did they end that show?
I think it's still running. I mean, last I knew.
I think it's still running. Yeah.
How many seasons?
It's been going on for like 25 seasons or something crazy.
I'm not starting that up. I don't have time for 25 seasons though.
Oh, well, that's a perfect show to put in the background, Gavin. You don't really have to listen to it, but you listen once in a while, you laugh at it, and you move on.
Okay.
It was definitely, it was funny when I watched it, but it wasn't something I'd put on all the time. So.
I don't remember you liking it, Seth. I feel like you're lying about this right now.
I'd watched the British baking show, like,
oh man,
hands down over that.
I don't like that. Nicole loves that. But I'll watch like Gordon Ramsay or something yell at people. So
violence.
Yeah, like I think he brought back his Kitchen Nightmare show. So there's newer seasons of that. I don't know when they actually filmed, but we've been going through that as well. And, you know, there's just something nice about Gordon Ramsay yelling at people and telling them that they don't know what they're doing in their business.
That's funny. Well, we do have a couple of HomeTech headlines this week. I wasn't sure how much we were going to get to with all the Matter news that came out, but there's a couple of new products, kind of surprising. So it has been a slow time in the news cycle, but it's expected this time of year. And we'll have to see what Apple does next week. Could be a new Apple Pencil again. That was awesome.
Super secret event.
Yeah, super secret. So fast. I don't know. Everybody says it's new computers, which, yeah, okay. All right. Well, what do you say we jump into these HomeTech headlines?
Let's do it.
All right. The Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, has opened up the 6 gigahertz band to low-power devices, benefiting IoT, virtual and augmented reality, and smart home solutions. The move is expected to spur development in wearable technologies as well. So it could be kind of cool to see what they do with these new rules. They're expecting it to basically, you know, big tech companies like Amazon, Google, Apple, Qualcomm, they're all excited about it. So should have an impact in everything it says here, from education to healthcare. So would be it's interesting. Always nice to have like a little portion of the little band open up for you. 6 gigahertz is kind of high, so it's not going to be used for anything that's like going to go through doors or anything. This is going to be like typically high bandwidth, very short distance spaces is where you're going to see this kind of stuff come into play.
Yeah, this would be great for my house because my house is very tiny and the access point is in the center of the house. So in our living room, I can actually, you know, basically touch it with a little pole. And so, you know, if I'm sitting on the couch or I have a TV or something in that area and it has Wi-Fi 6, it would definitely benefit from that. Or I should say 6 gigahertz. But yeah, it's going to be very short range, just like 5G. 5G is very short range and not very high use cases for it. But if your device supports it, then it does make a huge difference.
Gavin, do you see this replacing any LoRa sensors you have laying around?
Yeah, LoRa. I can't even get LoRa. Like, it's too confusing as it is. But we'll have to see what they do with this, because, you know, they keep talking about Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 7, and it's like, I don't even know if I have Wi-Fi 5 on my devices. I don't know what. I stopped keeping track of this because Wi-Fi always reached a point where, to me, it was just, it worked. It was fast enough for what I wanted to do it, and I'm happy, you know. But this is, I think they're focusing on IoT with this stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. Like, it also comes down to, you know, the devices and battery power, right? So if they can use this and save battery as well, that would be nice to see.
This is specifically targeted towards what they call very low power devices, and it's permitting them to use very low power over short distances and provide very high connection speeds. So it should be ideal for any kind of like sensor, or I mean, you could even like think of like an outdoor camera or something like that. If it can be a low power device and not run until it sees or senses motion.
Yeah, like a blink camera or something.
Yeah, this might be really, really good for one of those types of devices.
Yeah, I think the only thing I really care about Wi-Fi speed on is my laptop at this point. You know, when I have the laptop and I'm using that around the house, I use it in the various rooms or whatever, I want the fastest speeds on that. But my phone and like pretty much everything else, it's like, you know, as long as it has a good Wi-Fi signal, most of the time the speed is good enough for me. But there are certain power users out there that want to be able to do a gigabit on their phone or whatever.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Well, the only way to do that is to basically just dedicate an access point to your phone.
Yeah. Well, like in each room and everything else too. I mean, you have to really plan that out in advance.
Any other device that hops on always messes you up. And then there's interference. Here's the easier thing to do. Just use a hardwire. I guess you can't do that on your phone. Oh, you can do that on your phone now, actually.
Yeah, you can do that on your phone. I'll just walk around with a 50-foot Ethernet cable on my phone.
We've got that USB-C now on the iPhone, so I can do whatever I want now. Yeah. Hook it up.
Oh, genius.
All right, let's move on here. This is kind of a product I don't think anybody wanted, but here we are. Tech company ecobee has launched its first video doorbell camera, which is called the ecobee Smart Doorbell Camera. It boasts 175-degree field of view and integration with the company's smart thermostat. That's right, guys. If somebody reads your doorbell, you can answer it on your thermostat. It's probably a first. Will it be the last?
It's such a tiny screen. What is this, a screen for ants?
You can also use the ecobee app, which I guess is normal. It has two-way audio and all that good stuff. The camera also features advanced AI features for accurate detection and offers customizable activity zones for focus, motion, and person detection. It's IP65 waterproof and dust protection, so it should hold up pretty well outside. It's actually better than I think the doorbell I have on my door. Let's see, the ecobee. It can also be controlled through the ecobee app, Apple Watch, Apple HomeKit, the Alexa, and with support for Google Assistant to be added soon. We did look at the price on this thing, $159. So not a terrible price for an unique device that you can answer on your thermostat.
Honestly, this might be one of the HomeKit favorite doorbells at this point, because I don't think you have too many different options right now. I know you have the Aquera and the Logitech, and I think a couple more. But for $159, that makes it a low-cost HomeKit camera.
It's actually a good price, And I know the news stories keep pointing out the fact that, yes, you can view it on your thermostat, but it does a lot more than that. I think the thermostat thing will just be, one of those little things that nobody will ever use. Right, because when my doorbell rings, the last thing I do is run to my thermostat. And considering my thermostat's right by my front door, whoever's outside is going to see me at my thermostat, so I might as well just answer the door at that point. But it is a good look. I'm not a fan of the look of it, but for that price, I think it's a really good price.
Well, let's keep talking about price because there's more. There's subscription. If you want some more,
of course.
Okay, pass. Let's move on.
There's actually a $0 free plan, which I think covers what you were asking about. So, you can the free plan will let you do a 30-day history with snapshots. It'll give you that great live view on your premium thermostat, and then it'll do person detection and two-way talk. So the basics are kind of covered right there, right? If you want to store 30 days of video, you've got to pay $5 a month or $50 a year. And also have packet detection and rich push notifications. So that's the ones that have the pictures on them. And then if you want to upgrade to the complete package for $10 a month or $90 a year, video on unlimited cameras for packet detection, and unlimited cameras for push notifications, as well as 24/7 professional monitoring and insurance savings, as they say. So I don't know, kind of neat. It works out of the box how you want it to for $0, and then if you want to pay them $5 a month to get package detection, there you go.
This is what drives me, though, is that when you look at cameras, it's not so bad, but when you look at cameras, I kind of look for somebody that has all the different types of cameras. Because if you're going to pay a subscription, you want to pay a single subscription to Ring. Ring has you covered pretty much everywhere, right? If you're going to get the ecobee doorbell and you want other cameras in your house, now you're going to pay another subscription to say Ring and one subscription to ecobee instead of just a single subscription. So ecobee will probably build up more devices over time, so it makes it worth it.
They have an indoor camera or a little smart camera thing and some security contacts.
They just need a floodlight camera now.
Yeah, they just need a floodlight camera. And I don't think it's I think it's an indoor, it's $100 indoor camera. So it's not bad though, but I agree with you. They need an ecosystem built out. And actually having an ecosystem that actually works with HomeKit, it might be better than those Ring doorbells. So it's never got integration with HomeKit.
Womp womp.
the generator company comes through, right? Like they were bought by Generac or whatever. Now they're getting all these cool things.
It would be interesting to see what cameras they release next. I mean, because they are starting something here, so I just hope, like anything else, they don't like pull the support for this in like 2 years. That's always my annoying thing with these new products and everything like that. It's like there's already 1 million video doorbells out, and so if somebody really likes ecobee, then they'll probably invest in this. But like, you know, it's about long-term support, and we're yet to see that. But I don't think ecobee has a history of pulling support for things.
No, not that I can think of. They had some really long-running thermostat models that may actually still be able to be purchased, now that I think about it. But they were kind of long in the tooth. I can't really think of anything that they've discontinued out from under anybody. I do remember talking to these guys about this camera probably like 2 years ago, though. And they really didn't implement anything that we asked for, but for what they've done, this is actually probably a better product than what we asked for. So good on them. You know, we want that RSTP string.
Yeah. Well, it's either you use ecobee or you use Blue Iris, and you're probably
okay,
going to use ecobee.
I'm using ecobee. I'm paying the subscription. All right. And we've got some lock talk here. So TJ,
Lock talk.
Yeah, lock talk. Smart lock maker Level has released a new Wi-Fi bridge called the Level Connect, which allows for remote access and integration with the smart home platforms like Amazon Alexa, Google Home. However, this move is kind of surprising since Level smart locks already have all the necessary technology for Matter and Thread compatibility, which basically enable them to do the same thing. Level co-founder and CTO Ken Goto stated that they are still investigating Matter over Thread solutions and will release a Matter update sometime in 2024. This is interesting. Wi-Fi bridge, instead of going Matter, these guys are never going to make they Matter list doing this kind of thing. But Level Connect's $79. Or do I buy this for $79, which I don't have a Level lock, so it really doesn't matter. Or do I just wait for them to implement the free upgrade for Matter? What do you do here?
I'd still wait. I've been keeping an eye on this lock. This is one of my favorite locks, like just because it's something that slides in there and I can keep my existing setup. You know, it's one of those locks you could put in, your significant other will never know, right? Because you didn't change the look of it. So I've always kept an eye on this. I never invested in it because I just didn't like what they offered in terms of connectivity. But this bridge, I think it's just a step that they're adding, and I think they're going to probably add Matter through this bridge somehow. I don't know if this bridge is tackling maybe battery consumption issues or connectivity, challenges they have, but I think Matter will be coming. Like, don't buy it on promises. Never buy on promises. So if you want Matter in this lock, wait till it's actually released with Matter if they do that, and then buy it. And I will keep an eye on it. And if they do release it with Matter where I can integrate it with Home Assistant and stuff like that, I'm all in. I'll do it.
Yeah, this little bridge thing is a common tactic for Schlage. One of the reasons I don't like a lot of the Schlage locks is because they're Bluetooth as well, and they have a little Wi-Fi bridge you plug in. And I feel like I always have problems with that little Wi-Fi bridge. It's basically two things to go wrong with your lock instead of just one at that point. And so I'd almost always prefer to go with like a Z-Wave or Zigbee lock, and so that way I don't have to worry about it. Because Wi-Fi for smart locks does drain the battery quite a bit. I have one Wi-Fi quick-set lock in installation right now, and I think it goes through batteries every 6 to 9 months. And like it gets used quite a bit, but I feel like it'd be twice as long if it was another protocol.
Maybe it will help. That kind of thing. They mentioned here that adding, this is an article over at The Verge, this is adding Matter over Thread to its locks to also enable remote access and interoperability with more smart home features like platforms like Level. It currently only works with Apple Home and Ring through Amazon Sidewalk. So yeah, I guess all right. So that makes sense. So that if you have a Ring Sidewalk device, it'll actually connect over Bluetooth, I guess, to these devices, right? And then you can use that to communicate back and forth. So that's actually kind of cool too. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Seth, wait.
It is a cool product, Gavin. Yeah. Well, the problem is like it didn't fit with my door lock. I have this door lock, and like where the little part that goes through the lock on mine actually goes like under it because they offset where the little handle thing goes. And I actually like was able to fit all the parts and pieces of this thing in there. But then when I went to put the lock on, there was no place for this like spear thing to go through to turn the other one. Like it was a dumb design. But they did it, and now it's ruined. I can't put this lock in. So I would love to, because it would be awesome.
But you can replace the existing set that you have there if you needed, so that this lock will work still.
If I just completely changed out the door fixture and everything, to a one that was more compatible, like I could do it. Yeah, but unfortunately, it's weird the way this door hardware I have works is it has like a secondary thing that's not in the normal spot that it should be, and then that kind of like enabled them to do this like nice little offset on the latch on the inside.
Yeah,
send us a picture, Seth. We'll make it work.
It's just carve out more of the door.
But what I do like about this lock is it lets you choose pretty much your own like look,
lock,
your own lock, right? And then just put this in where everybody else you're relying on their design and how it will look on your door. So
yeah, most of the smart locks are ugly too. So
definitely, like if I could have swapped this out and left and had a level lock on the front door, I mean that door is a plague for me. Like I can come in the side door with this Acquire lock now anytime I want. With the front door, it's hit or miss whether it's unlocked or locked, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta go find a key. No, I'll just go around the side of the house and buzz myself in. So if I could have done this, I would have, but it just didn't line up. And then I accidentally put the little flipper handle thing on backwards. So instead of like going this way, it goes that way now.
Oh.
And so like there were some complaints about that. And I'm like, let's see how long those complaints last. Because I wasn't going to take the thing back off and flip it like 90 degrees where it was this way instead of that way when you lock the door. And now it's kind of normal.
Yeah, I thought about installing one of these level locks on my back door, but my house was built in 1959. And I think that means that they just built the house however they felt like it. And then when they made changes, they just did whatever they felt like as well. And so for some reason, my back door, the offset for the actual lock is not a standard one. So I don't remember what it is normally. It's like, 2 1/4 or 2 1/2 or something like that. Normally for the back set, like every lock you buy does 2 of those offsets, and that's it. And if it's not that offset, then you have to go find like a specific latch and everything for it. And I'm not about to do that. I'll just buy a new door for it.
When you say offset, this is the technical term from like the side of the door to the middle of the hole.
Correct.
In the door? Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So like there's 2 settings or 2 sizes that are like the standard. I don't know what they are off the top of my head. But like if you go buy a lock from Amazon or Home Depot or whatever, it's going to come in these 2 offsets. And mine is not those 2 offsets. So thank you, door people.
Exactly. It's before the door standards existed.
I guess so. I think they just found like a trailer or something, and they're just like, yeah, let's throw this door in here.
This works.
Because for some reason it's not it's not a normal height either, and so like our screen door on the outside of the house is like the normal height, but the inside door is not. It's like 4 inches shorter.
Your door is supposed to actually cover the hole, right? Otherwise, it's just like not.
Well, it does, door. But it's engineered to do that. Like I think a normal door is like 80 inches tall, but like my screen door is 80 inches tall, but my actual interior door is like 76.
This is very suspicious here. Something's wrong.
Yeah, well, that's what you get with an old house.
Yeah, the fun of owning a house.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on here to things that do matter, and specifically matters. But Matter is mattering now more because they're finally releasing that point update that we talked about a couple weeks back. Matter 1.2 is here. They have announced that the latest version will allow household appliances like refrigerators, dishwashers, robotic vacuums. What else in here? Let's see. Air conditioners, laundry washers,
but not dryers.
Robotic vacuums, smoke and carbon monoxide alarms, air quality sensors, air purifiers, and fans, only fans, to integrate with your Matter devices. So, this will be fun. As soon as this starts rolling out, these new product categories can go online, and you can start seeing some more new Matter. That's just going to mean this Who Matters this week segment is just going to take off, because we're going to get all those LG laundry washers supporting Matter 1.2, and we're going to have to talk about them because it'll be fun. I honestly, I would love that'd be awesome. A washer to have something like turned on a light or pinged me or something when it was done. You don't want smelly clothes.
More bridges too. You're going to have a bridge for your fridge, a bridge for your air conditioner, a bridge for your dishwasher. Yeah, there you go.
Matter hubs for everybody.
Yeah. It's good to see this, though. They're making some big progress with this 1.2 update. And, some of these devices it's not like I'm going to run out and buy a new dishwasher just because I want the Matter support now.
Yeah, I don't even want to do the dishes anyway, much less something that's going to tell me that I got to go do the dishes. No.
Yeah,
I don't need that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I got a question. Where does the Matter standard draw the line, right? So we know that it supports washers, but it doesn't support dryers. But if I were to buy this GE Profile, like 2-in-1 washer dryer, would it notify me? Obviously, if it had Matter, would it notify me that the wash has started and the wash is done? And then right after the wash, it would never tell me anything again?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It started drying. It was like, you're on your own. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, it's up to the software vendor to actually implement, reminders or something.
They'd have to program it as a washer. It's just this is just a washer.
Yeah. Like Apple has this in the health thing, they have the medication reminders thing. And now with I noticed with new iOS, it will follow up. If you don't forget to take your meds in the morning or whatever, your vitamins or whatever you have in there, it'll remind you in 30 minutes or something. It's like, hey, this is a follow up. It'll annoy you again. And if you forgot the first time, you can take it again. So I thought that was kind of nice. And maybe, again, it would be up to the software vendors to do something like that, to implement additional notifications or whatever.
Well, we know they always do what's best. So we are in good hands, consumers.
10 more years, we are going to have the most amazing home here.
Yeah, this is pretty cool, though, to see them continue supporting Matter and making new things. We all knew this was going to happen. It's just good to actually see it happening. You never know a company is going to do something until they start doing it. Or an organization, I guess I should say.
Yeah, friend of the show, Jimmy also had found a mention in Samsung's presentation a couple weeks back, or I think it was last week we talked about this, and we kind of went over and looked at the website, knew that it was coming. But yeah, they're definitely loading in a bunch more features here, which is great. There's going to be more Matter-enabled devices. Again, the more devices that come out, the less this stuff is going to cost to implement and do, which is always a good thing. All the parts and pieces to put this together and assemble it are going to get cheaper for these manufacturers, and they'll just start doing it by default. Then we just got to buy good products. Can't buy the crummy products that don't work.
The smart life stuff.
No, Gavin's excited. Anyway, all the links and topics we discussed tonight can be found over in our show notes over at HomeTech.fm/457. I don't have a pick of the week this week, but we do have some mailbag stuff in here. And I think some of this was sent to you, TJ. So I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, both of them were in response to the past couple episodes. We got Greg that sent us a email, and he wrote in asking about the smart sprinkler we talked about in the previous episode. And we'll go ahead and put the link in this show notes here. If you're looking on Amazon, it's called Rain Seer Zigbee Sprinkler Timer. And it uses its own little hub, and it uses the Smart Life app to control everything. I bought it because supposedly it can work with Zigbee to MQTT, but I have not got that far yet. And kind of like Gavin, we're both in the northern part of the world. It is almost wintertime here. So this project is on the back burner. It's, inside and I can play with it, but I don't really have any desire to finish it until springtime. So
your work is done. No worries.
Yeah. It works with the Smart Life app. So even if it comes springtime and I'm not done with it for some reason, it'll still work exactly how I want it to. It just won't work with Home Assistant. So it is fine. You can supposedly find them on AliExpress though for cheaper. They might just work natively with Zigbee, but I just wanted to order it real quick and be done with it because that's the type of installer I am. If I waited 3 months a month or 2 months to get it from AliExpress, it would have already been winter time and I wouldn't have played with it at all. So And then we had one more person write in. Sol wrote in to recommend that I check out Ajax cameras. I've looked into them a little bit. I can't find anything on pricing because it seems to be a dealer-only product, but it basically right in line with what I want. I just don't know if I'm trying to become a dealer for them just so I can get cameras for my house. But I'll probably look into it a little bit more and watch some videos and stuff like that because they have a couple different things. They have intrusion detection, fire detection, water leak detection, comfort and productivity. So they seem like a general, like, I don't know, Internet of Things company.
Yeah, they have quite a bit.
So they might be able to offer stuff that I don't have right now.
They've got relays. They have water detector, leak detector, shut-off valves up to 1 inch.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Yeah, the products look pretty nice. I mean, it looks like they have black and white ones, which that's my problem with a lot of the like cameras and stuff like that is they only come in white or they only come in black. And pretty much all their cameras come in both colors, along with their NVRs. What NVR do you know that comes in multiple colors? I don't know any personally, so.
Well, I mean, I know of a few of them, but just different models come in different colors.
Right. Yeah, you have like literally a different model, and it's like, oh, well, can you get that model in white? No, you can't. You have to get this other modal.
You can get a spray paint can.
But this is literally the same thing. It just comes in a different color. So, yeah, thanks for that recommendation. I will look into it. I just haven't got to dive too deep with it, but we'll talk more about the camera situation here in a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of their cameras look like they are coming soon. So I don't know what that means, but maybe the camera line is new for them. But it's interesting.
Well, and they actually have like nice looking cameras too, and they have 8 megapixel and all that kind of stuff. A lot of those cameras they max out at like 4 or 5 megapixel, and depending on the area, the 8 megapixel makes a huge difference. I think what I'm attached to, though, at this point is anything with a starlight sensor because they are amazing at nighttime.
They have black smoke detectors. All right, that's a first. All right.
Right?
I'll give it to them. That's amazing. I mean, it's just plastic, but I'll give them that one. That's a first. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool to me. And literally everything comes in black or white. Like this little hub 2G jeweler thing. I don't even know what that does, but it comes in black and white.
Black and white. Exactly.
This little button, it comes in black and white.
This keypad, black and white. Yeah, everything is black and white. That's great. There you go. Glass break detector.
Oh, wow. See?
Never in my life. Black motion detectors.
That's pretty sweet.
I guess I have seen outdoor versions that were that color, but
they're water control valves, black or white.
That is interesting. They must own a bunch of filament and have to get rid of it.
Like, you know what? Nobody else is doing on the in the space. They're not offering multiple colors.
No, they're not.
They need to make out smart locks next. That way we can have multiple colors.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully they release more than 2 colors though.
Dream a dream, TJ. Come on.
Ooh, their light switches. They have all kinds of colors. They have gray and ivory, olive.
Now I have to look at these light switches. Where are they?
They're smart plugs. They have black or white.
Where are you seeing this?
Under, let's see, products and comfort and productivity.
It's interesting. The light switches are like that square thing, the square kind.
Yeah. One gang smart switch. They look kind of nice.
Yeah. They're different. Interesting.
Send me some, Saul. I'll take some products.
Every time I look at the name, though, I'm like, Ajax. That's that old web.
It's a cleaner.
It's a cleaner, yeah. It's the old, like.
That's what I clean my toilet with.
Way back when we had web pages that were just like, okay, when you click here, it takes you to the next web page. Somebody did this thing they invented called Ajax, and it would let you basically replace an element on the page. And so it's basically the modern web. So every time I see that, I'm like, Ajax, cleaner or JavaScript, one of the two.
It's a long range. Their radio communication hub has 3,600 feet range.
And important, comes in black and white. Cool. Well, thanks for the recommendation. We'll have to check these guys out. If you have any feedback, questions, comments, picks of the week, multicolored products that you found, or any other great ideas for a show, give us a shout. Email address is feedback@HomeTech.fm, or you can visit HomeTech.fm/feedback and fill out the online form. All right, project updates. So speaking of multicolored projects, we had our little friendly wager. Will Seth install the Govee outdoor lights? And as I edited the show and listened to Gavin tell me that I'm not having fun with this product because it's not what I want, no, I returned it. I did find out they have a new product line, the Govee Outdoor Permanent what do they call it? Govee Permanent Outdoor Lights 2, which look a little bit better. I think I sent you guys a YouTube video of this guy installing them so you could see what the wires look like. The wires still look awful to me. Like, I don't think I could do this just for the wires. I can't see. Look, I spent like 20 years of my life hiding wires. There's no way I'm going to like run wires around my house. It's just not going to happen. So, yeah, I need something to this could live in, and I've been just kind of looking around for other things. So, not going to happen. Govee, it was a good job. I think for many people though, I think this is probably a pretty good product, especially at the price point. Like 100 foot of this stuff for like what, around $200 or so. I don't know.
$300 normal.
Yeah, $300. Yeah, the Pro one maybe a little bit more because they were changing how that that works. I think it has like dedicated white LEDs inside, so that's kind of nice. Like, if you can't use the mixed color, like the RGB lights, to make white light very well. Some of them don't look very good, but if they have a dedicated LED in there, you can turn this on for the rest of the year and light up your house like normal lighting. And then when you want it to be like St. Patrick's Day, you can turn it all green, or you want it Christmas, red and green, that kind of thing. So I don't know. It's a cool product, just not for me. So I'm going to spend a lot more money on what I want.
A lot more money and a lot more time.
Yeah, a lot more money, a lot more time. And it probably won't work as well, because actually the controllers for them are actually pretty nice. The little flood lamps that I put out in my yard. Oh yeah, a little follow up here. Jimmy actually posted in our Slack chat the hub over there that you can get an invite to if you support the show. He said he's on his second set of Govee floodlights. He said the bad news, they indeed stopped working at some point, but he didn't see where the lenses leak. The good news is that Govee replaced them for free since they have a 12-month warranty, and they were only like 9 months old. Yeah, so they stand behind their product. That's good.
So if you can break them before the year up, you can get a second set. Yeah.
I already put like silicone all over mine because I was like kind of worried about it. I did like half of them to see if it actually broke or not. So we'll see if the good ones stay silicone, and then I know the problem was, if they stay working. Now, if the ones that I siliconed break and the other ones work, then I'm in trouble. But these are only going to be out for a couple of days each year, so might use them for like inside things, inside parties, New Year's or something like that. But otherwise, they're just going to go in a bucket with the rest of the lights after the holiday season's over. That's all I got there, guys. What have you been up to, Gavin? You got on this phone call and you just started cursing and saying, yeah, you were like, this ESP beep, 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 beep.
Oh, before I get into that.
Recording.
Yeah.
Jeez.
This is why we can't have a pre-recorded show that released on the Patreon channel.
It's usually me that's the problem.
If you tell me we're recording, I'll be a lot nicer. Don't worry. Like we gotta have the unedited version so people can feel my frustration. But before that, just an update on my Z-Wave controller. So I upgraded to the Z-Wave 800 last week. It was fine for a few days, and then the controller started hanging for some reason randomly on me, and that's not a good thing. But Home Assistant and Z-Wave JS, they've had like 5 updates for some reason this week. I think Z-Wave JS is just going through some troubles right now, right? There was one day I think I had 2
what
updates
tells you
to
that?
Z-Wave JS. Yeah, it's so I was looking up on GitHub reported problems. People were reporting issues with the Z-Wave 800 and submitting bugs, logs and stuff. So it looks like they know about issues. People are also complaining about the Z-Wave 500, that used to be so reliable until a recent release from Z-Wave JS. So I don't know what they're doing over there, but you know what? If it works for you, just don't update, please. Just leave it as it is, because they need to sort it out. But the good news is, since the last update, my Z-Wave 800 controller has been running smooth. So as long as I don't run like a Z-Wave repair on it, which creates a lot of traffic, it's been fine. So I'm crossing my fingers with that. So sometimes when you get the new tech, you got to wait for them to figure out how to use it. Another thing I've been playing around, it's the year of the voice, and I have an ESP32. I bought the ESP microphone add-on and stuff like that. I can't remember the exact model numbers. I followed videos and instructions. I can't get this damn thing to work. It's driving me nuts. I've been working for days. I pulled out my best soldering tools. I soldered it all up. From what I could tell, everything's hooked up right. it just won't start the microphone for some reason. So, it's one of those frustrating times when you just put the project to the side and you say, I'm going to relook at that in a few days, just so, I can get my sanity back for a bit. But if there's anyone out there that has experience with ESP32 and microphones, getting a little microphone working with it and wants to reach out, I'll be grateful for that. I might have been, I've been watching ESP videos, people, creating little projects and stuff. But all the videos I think this one's a little more complicated because every video is like, oh, we'll add a temperature sensor. And it's like, oh, it's just these 3 connectors and it's very basic. And I'm like, great. I'm trying to add a microphone to this, which is a little bit more complicated. From the video I see, I can't remember who put together the video, but he's like, yeah, just wire it up like this. All right. Install this. All right. Do this and everything works. Of course it works for him. I can't get it working. So I don't know what it is. I'm going to revisit in a few days. It's just driving me nuts. I really want to get into the ESP stuff, but stuff like this just really just, drives me nuts, right? I did a Bluetooth proxy. That was simple. But it is what it is.
Gavin, I think I have a solution for you, and I think you're going to love this. And I'll post a link here for you.
Oh, God.
Well, it turns out, since you got this thing sitting around, it's got a microphone in it. It looks like somebody has actually purchased or ported the BirdNet thing over to the ESP32.
Oh,
so you
perfect.
You can just plug it in, and that way you'll know your microphone's working or not. Like, if it works on that, it's all good.
Well, I know it's not working because I was able to get audio recordings of nothing. So I know it's not working, right? That's the problem. There's a whole bunch of you wire it up this way, it uses the left side. You wire it up this way, it uses the right side. I've been through all that stuff. The connectivity to Home Assistant's there, it's sending something, but it's not getting anything off the microphone. So I don't know what's going on. I'll figure it out one day.
Bird Edge. You got to get this, man.
I set up that bird thing and it wasn't getting anything. I don't have enough birds in my yard, you seem to have all the fun birds down there.
They're happy. They're happy in Florida.
And then this year was my year of the lawn, right? So I spent a lot of time, working on my lawn moisture and this and that. And you know what? It was a success. I have to admit, now it's the end of the year. This weekend, I ended up pulling out all the sensors because, preparing for winter. So I removed everything. But when I look back at the year, I realized the amount of water I used was actually much less because I only had to water where it needed water. So I could see at the end of the year, I actually used a lot less water.
Cool.
On top of that, the grass is a lot greener. My grass is actually still growing. I thought I did the last mow last weekend. I have a feeling I may have to do one more mow, right? Just because it's still growing. And I haven't watered it in a long time. The irrigation's all off and everything. So, my project using the EcoBee sensors, I consider it a success. The sensors though, as ugly as they are, they stick out of the ground. They're easy to break, easy to step on, etc., etc. They were out of all the sensors I tried, those were the best ones. They did exactly what I wanted. They just told me what the moisture was in the ground. That's all I needed. I did go through about 3 or 4 of them throughout the season. But that's fine because, I accomplished what I was hoping to do. And next year, I will always keep an eye out on more sensors to see something that sits more flat. But for next year, I'll use these again. They just work great. It worked fine. They're not too expensive for what I wanted. So that's my year of the lawn updates.
Well, you have a 3D printer. Maybe you can just print a new enclosure for it. That way it can go flatter to the ground, Gavin.
I looked into that. So I took one of them apart. Of course, the one that broke. And I was trying to see how it was wired up so that I can maybe flatten the top and have it go down into the ground. But it looks like I'd have to revisit that again because I don't think I can. But if I ever figure out this ESP stuff, then you can actually buy the sensors and make what you're saying with an ESP. But then I'd have to figure out how to power it on battery, et cetera, et cetera. So one project at a time. And then other than that, I did a little moonlighting. Last week I was on Entertainment 2.0 with Richard Gunther. That was fun.
Yay!
And I was also on another episode of Home Gadget Geeks with Jim Collison. So,
nice.
we talked a lot of home assistant stuff there too. So, give those a listen.
I listened to both of them. They were both pretty good.
Oh, thank you. I
feel like you give those podcasts a little more effort than ours, but I'm not going to say anything.
Well, that's because, because they invite me over. So actually, I log on early. I do some research, it's well organized,
Well organized. What is that?
It's well. And Richard, we get into the podcast. We're done in like an hour.
Yeah.
You guys,
he's
it's
on
like,
a mission when he does the podcast. I've only done one with him so far, but he's just on it.
Yeah, we're done. We're in, we're out. It's recorded. And the other difference is like I record like that's nowhere I'm gonna go with this, but we would record like home tech on a Monday. I did like Home Gadget Geeks on Thursday and I did like Entertainment 2.0 on Wednesday. They were both released before HomeTech even was released.
Oh, man.
Like,
don't listen to HomeTech.
Next morning, these guys posted their podcast. I was like, wow, yeah.
I just wanted them to have a chance to get out there in front of people and so they could, get warmed up for the show here. That's all.
Sounds good. That sounds good. We'll go with that. It's your lie. Tell it as big as you want. But yeah, it was a good time. So check out those podcasts too.
No, definitely are. They're both of those are very entertaining shows. And it doesn't matter who the guest is, but it's even better if it's Gavin. So
yeah,
I just posted the little statistics for the month here of October for my unique 51 species of birds that have been detected over there in the back channel there. That's really cool. I don't know if a blue jay is a fun bird, but it seems to be very active at my house.
Mine was not picking up anything, so I just gave up.
I did get one of those rock pigeons that you were talking about, and it sounded like literally a rock being dragged across the ground. I have no idea what that was. So maybe it's just like a joke or something. Mine
was actually, it sounded like the helicopter going over top. So
yeah, it sounded like just a gurgle or something. It's like maybe it's just a joke that these bird people put inside of here. Like somebody's going to look up a rock pigeon, and then it's like the number one thing you have. Anyway, that's awesome, man. And so TJ, how goes the NVR search?
Just as crappy as you thought it would, Seth. So I have I bought a new Synology unit. I bought the DVA 1622. Yeah, DVA 1622. It's $600, which is whatever. I mean, for a NAS, it's really not that bad. Comes with 8 camera license. That's always my hang up with Synology is that if you bought the NVR ones, it came with 4 camera license. If you bought the regular NAS, it came with 2, and each license is $50 each. So you need a camera license per camera that you want to work with Synology. I don't think that counts RTSP streams though, so I don't think there's actually a camera license for those. But if you want like OnVIF or one of their supported cameras, you have to have the camera license. But the newer Synology is the DVA series. There's 2 of them. There's the 1622, which is a 2-bay, and there's a 3122, I think, which is a 4-bay. The 1622 is really nice. It's very fast. The software is what I'm used to with Synology. It's got motion detection and all that, mobile app and all that kind of stuff. The DVA series has like what they call deep analytics, and that's actually, face detection, vehicle detection, and, whatever the deep state offers you. And, but the annoying thing is that because there's only 2 options with the DVA series, of course, they've locked down the amount of motion or people detections you get. So whatever they classify as their deep, analytics or whatever they actually call it, for the 1622 NVR, you get 2. So you can only set up people detection or vehicle detection or counting on 2 cameras. And I've been told by Synology that if you buy their cameras, that it actually bypasses that. So if you have like the 1622 and you have, 2 OnVIF cameras, that you can do the people detection with that. And then you could technically use their cameras to bypass that. And so you could actually get more face detection out of it.
I had no idea they even had cameras.
Yeah, I think it's a newer thing. And it's kind of, they probably launched the same time as they, started telling people they don't support their hard drives or whatever. but that's kind of the annoying thing. Their cameras are all right. I think they're like $200 and some odd dollars. They max out at 5 megapixels though, and no starlight sensor. So that's going to be a no for me on 2 of my cameras, but the other 2 I guess could technically use it because they're closer range and the dark is not as big of an issue. But in terms of cameras, I've been playing with some cameras. The backyard is extremely dark at night. There's obviously not a street light in my backyard. So it's literally pitch dark. And these starlight cameras are amazing because it could be midnight with no lights on at all, and it still looks like a color image. I think I've been sending a couple through the back channel there, and I think Gavin's been a little jealous. So maybe we can get him to upgrade his cameras to starlight ones.
Is there a floodlight starlight camera?
I mean, probably. The starlight sensor is pretty.
You don't need the floodlight anymore.
It's not a lot of cameras, so. But the starlight floodlights are probably more like the UFIs and stuff like that.
No, I want one that's like has an API and a RTSP stream and stuff like that.
Does anybody make that for floodlight?
Well, the camera that I have,
an open one.
The one I was put in, I have a Unity from work. Like it has basically the starlight thing in it. It's a low light looking thing, but it also has a light you can turn on, and it has an API for that.
Yeah.
It's kind of their thing is they put a light on it.
This is an $87 Easy Viz floodlight camera, and it's got starlight, but I'm sure there's not like an API or anything for that. But we'll post some pictures. I don't mind posting my backyard. Everybody can see my grass. It's beautiful. But it does make a huge difference with the starlight camera if you have like pitch darkness. And I've been playing with some off-brand ones because I don't want to buy them from my distributor and not like them. And so I buy them from Amazon because I can return them. But in the world of security cameras, there's a ton of like rebranded cameras with like no firmware updates available. Mm-hmm. And so you're basically just buying like random stuff that may or may not work because that's security cameras.
Yeah, I was setting this one up because I've got to do some integration work with it. And it had like, I've been sitting on this thing for a long time. It's been sitting in my house and haven't plugged it in. And it had a firmware update and I clicked it. It said on there, this can take a while. And I'm like, okay, I'll just leave you to do your thing. And I look back at it later and it's still kind of like in the same place. And I would like refresh the page. And then it just came up with a blank page. And then I was like, oh, so I power cycled it, blank page. I guess for whatever weird reason now, I have to visit it in a private browser mode to see anything on it, which is kind of weird, but I guess it's common, like in Chrome, that you have to open up private browsing for some of these things. I don't know. It's very strange.
Well, I have a like an off-brand Hikvision camera, so that's what's actually I'm using for my Starlight camera right now. And Starlight, I'm not sure the exact technical things, but it's basically a specific light sensor or camera sensor.
Yeah.
That some of these cameras are including, and it's very good at low light situations. So if you have a pitch dark area, then it can basically replicate it in color. Though
it doesn't seem that they have the infrared thing built in, right? Like this camera doesn't have infrared. Maybe some of them do, but this camera doesn't do infrared. It just does the, what do we call it, Starlight, which I think is a Sony brand name thing.
Yeah, it's a Sony thing.
They call it something different at Uniview.
Yeah, and I think each one of them have their own. Like Hikvision, they technically call theirs like Color View.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I would personally not like to have lights on cameras, like the little bright white LED lights that these things have on them, but I guess that's a thing.
Yeah, you could turn it off. So
I did.
The light is there to help with the low light situation. So like my backyard would be perfect for that. But I have mine off and it doesn't seem to make any difference. So
yeah, we have one of these in the warehouse at the office that I can connect to on my phone because I was messing around with it at one point in time. And it is like that. Like at night, it's in a warehouse with all closed doors. And it's amazing like how much you can see in there. It's all cardboard boxes and nobody moving around, but it's like, it's perfectly clear. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. Like right now, if I look at it, I have my back ring solar lights on. And so like that's the only way you could really tell that it's nighttime. But when the lights turn off, it would be kind of hard to notice that it's nighttime sometimes. And then transitioning from camera news, I have my new Elan HR40 remote.
Watch out.
And so this is a new remote from Elan. We had the interview with Elan or Nice, which I still think is a terrible name.
It's a nice name.
It's such an awful name. But the remote feels nice. I haven't really got the chance to program it and play with it. Like, I can view my cameras on it right now. That's pretty much it. But it feels good in the hand. It's got voice control built into it. And we'll see how it works. Hopefully I can get it programmed the next week or two. We've had the dual TV set up in the living room for like several months now, but we have not been able to use that. So I've been waiting for the remote to come out so I can actually utilize those, because they're both LG TVs. And if you try to use a remote on the TV and they're both next to each other, then they do the same thing. It's not really user friendly.
Nope.
But that's pretty much it for projects. I was in Cincinnati the past couple days, so I haven't really got to do much at the house.
That's right. And you didn't find any O. Henrys for us to...
I did not find any O. Henrys. I went to Jungle Gyms, and I walked around after working all day, and I was like, I'm not finding this, so I just left. But according to Nicole, they used to have O. Henrys here until like 2019. So it was a thing, but nobody knew it was a thing. So that is why they don't have it anymore, because nobody knew about it.
That's why they only sell them in Canada. Because it's like, man, we sell a crap load out of these things up by Toronto.
We never sell any in America. Like, we only sell them in those little mix bags.
It's my favorite chocolate bar.
And they look good. They look good.
You have to mail some to us, Gavin.
They'll probably melt before they get to you, Seth.
No, overnight.
It's Seth. We have to pack it in an ice box.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do it right, Gavin. Come on. All right. Well, cool, man. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun with the NVR search. I do wish you luck on that, because you're going to end up like back on Blue Iris, like Gavin, and probably me. I'm saying that.
I'm not.
You will.
I'm going to stick it out with the Synology.
I thought you returned it.
No, I still have the Synology.
Okay.
But I feel like it's the best plug and play solution. And do I really need two? I'm going to convince myself that I don't need more than two. Because the price difference is crazy, right? It's like $600 for the one with two, or you have to jump up to $2,500 for up to 16.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, come on. Can you not make like a middle ground? It's like iCloud or Google Drive, where it's like you have like 100 gig or 200 gig, and then you have to buy a terabyte. It's like, well, give me something in between.
For $2,500, Gavin will set you up a Blue Iris system.
Yeah, but then you have to maintain it for the rest of his life.
Okay. Let's
He'll put you on a maintenance plan.
Yeah. But it will be worth it. It will be worth it. So for $300, I'll get you set up. And then for one Netflix a month subscription,
I like where this is going already.
I'll maintain it for you. So that's updates, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, and that's Canadian Netflix too. I'll save money.
Oh,
No, he wants access to your Netflix. He needs a login.
Yeah, I need a VPN, a login.
That's too good. We'll trade Netflix for Blue Iris setup. There we go.
I'll send you a Fire TV with Netflix and IPTV. You'll be good to go.
There we go.
I hate to say it, but I might actually buy Blue Iris and set it up as I wean myself off the Unify, because I don't even have a real Unify thing. I have the Unify, the cloud key still, which they kind of like, they still sell it, but they kind of look down upon you for having one.
Well, they do like the Gen 2 now.
Yeah, it's the Gen 2, but they don't treat that as like a first tier product. You're supposed to go with the Dream machine. The cloud key was evidently not a Dream or much of a machine, because it's kind of slow and janky, but they definitely don't want you to have that anymore. They want you to have the full Dream machine and run things in that. So I'm kind of done playing around with that. I don't have anything Unify except the cameras laying around, and the cameras all have RTSP streams on it. So, what do I care? I can hook them up to anything. And and I have extra cameras laying around for work. I have tons of cameras. Just don't hook them up. I don't really want that many cameras, but I have plenty.
Couldn't just send some cameras my way, Seth. That's okay.
I can, but you probably don't want them. It's probably.
Yeah, you're probably right.
The ones anyway.
Put them on the government auction website. That's where electronics go to die.
I do have this one this manufacturer sent me. don't know where it is. It's in a box somewhere, but it's basically, it's a pan. I think it's a pan tilt camera, but it doesn't do zoom. So it's just PT. Which I thought was kind of funny. It'll go this way, it'll go that way, it'll go up and down a little bit, but it doesn't do the Z part.
That seems kind of like a waste.
Kind of weird, huh?
It's like, why not? Why not just add that extra? It's like releasing a washing machine sensor, not a dryer sensor, Like,
man.
Just do the PTZ,
You're so close. You're so close.
Yeah. It's like you could have delayed it a month. We would have never known,
I had some guy that wanted me to put like 6 PTZs on the outside of his house, and I was like, I can, but they're like huge, man. Like, it's going to look ugly on your really nice house.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, that's all right. And I was like, okay. I put them on there. He was not happy. Told you. They are giant.
They're very large. You need a very large house to offset.
Yeah, they're like very, very commercial looking too. So if you have like a nice modern house, they definitely stick out.
Oh, no. Yeah, don't. No. You'd have to plan ahead and do like the flush mount version of that, where it's just a little dome popping down like it's a drop ceiling or something. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up this week. We do want to give a big thank you for everyone who supports the show, but especially those who are able to financially support the show through our Patreon page. If you don't know about the Patreon page, head on over to HomeTech.fm/support to learn how you can support HomeTech for as little as $1 a month. Any pledge over $5 a month gets you a big shout out on the show, but every single pledge gets you an invite to our private Slack chat, The Hub, where there's supporters of the show can gather in there every day and talk about all sorts of fun conversations about... There's been all sorts of stuff in there. There's Lutron. Oh, there's a printer review. I should have used that as our pick of the week, because there was a Brother printer review that was written half by ChatGPT. I think they just did that just to take space up on their website. It's amazing. Thought of you, Gavin. I was like, Gavin has to see this.
Best printers.
Yep. But all sorts of good stuff going on in there. So check it out. If you want to help out the show but can't support financially, you just appreciate a 5-star review on iTunes or a positive rating in the podcast app of your choice. That's going to wrap up another week here. Everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you next week.
Take care.
Till next time.
Oh, not 130 minutes. We have 10 more minutes. We have 20 more minutes to go.
Oh, let's record for another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is Patreon feed now. Now we can actually swear.
Yeah.